Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Fix Junk. Today we're going to be hopefully getting the 6.7 a little bit more ready to go back in the car. I got a whole bunch of parts coming for this thing. I got the injectors and injection pump. It's going to be pretty rowdy. But before I put the motor in, I want to clean it up. I want to go through the bottom end, make sure it's good to go. It is a used engine. It's got a lot of miles on it. So I got some Mally rods and main bearings we're going to throw in there. I mean, you guys saw what happened on the last one. 12 valve. It survived pretty good, but I went through this motor. It's, kind of a fresh rebuild on it. I'm sending the head out to M&M Machine, all new Mally valves. We got Hamilton springs, Hamilton tool steel retainers, Hamilton push rods. It's going to be a nice setup in the motor. So I'm going to get the motor today cleaned up, maybe throw some paint on it. We're going to throw the new rods and mains in it, check out the bottom end, try to get the oil pan modified so I can get it to fit in the car because, I mean, these things are so big, they don't fit just as they are. And you can see how the 12 valve span was. So I'm going to have to do the same thing on the 6.7 because the pickup tubes are different sizes. I can't use that pan anymore. So let's get going on getting this thing ready. I mean, as of today, we're like 3 weeks away from having to be down in Florida with this car with the Burnout Nationals team down at SummerNats, and I got to get moving here. So let's get going. So putting the 12 valve into the El Cummino, there was a lot that had to be modified. The engine is a very, very tall engine, and it would initially, the oil pan actually touched the ground when I first put the car together. That's obviously not going to work. So we had to shorten the oil pan on the 12 valve engine. Now the 6.7, the same geometry, same size motor as the 12 valve externally. When I initially put the engine in the 12 valve, I had the engine in the car, I had to mock it all up, I had to put the oil pan up in there and figure out where to cut. It was a pain in the ass. Now I already have the engine in the car. I've already put a Cummins into it, so I'm basically just going to copy that. So the car is out in the trailer out back. Just went out and measured it. Bought a new oil pan for us. And what we need is from the lip of the block, the lip of the oil pan here to the bottom of the oil pan can only be 5 1/4 inches. I got my caliper set to 5 1/4. And we're going to scribe this line all the way around the sump of the oil pan. I'm going to cut the sump off, and then I have a second oil pan, and we're going to scab the sump going forward. We're going to make it 12 1/4 inches long in the front, and doing that on the 12 valve, I only lost 3/4 of a quart of oil over 12 quarts. Not bad. This pickup tube has to get shortened, not a big deal. But nobody sells an oil pan that's low clearance that'll actually fit for this application. So let's get this thing mocked up, scribed up, get it cut apart, and start scabbing this thing together.
the last couple weeks I've been painting. I cleaned up the 12 out. You guys saw we did some rod and name barriers. We did new front ring rates too. It was kind of freshened it up a little bit. I need to get going on this. I need this back in the car so I can keep mocking up stuff and keep the progress on it. I don't have the head back yet through the machine shop. We're just going to drop the block in so that way I can mock up the power steering and make sure everything else on the computer side and everything else is going to start fitting and clearing. So we're going to take this off the stand here. We're going to throw the bell housing on and the clutch on, and we're going to get this motor dropped back in the car so we can start keeping it progress. Not take it out again, so we're going to get the clutch, flywheel, everything all assembled so that way once it's in, it doesn't have to come back out. Well, you need a hand putting that flywheel up there? Yeah.
All right, so I gotta apologize. I completely forgot to keep recording after I dropped the block back in. I just got too excited. The motor's back in. I can make some progress. Well, I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek. I made a lot of progress. But that's all you need to see for right now. So, block's back in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's a big start on getting this going. Next video, we're gonna get the rear end fixed up. I got some cool parts and quick performance. We're changing gear ratios. We got a full spool Yukon third member going in there. Clean that all up. Transmission, broke it again. Gonna tear that down. We're gonna fix that up. So like and subscribe, follow for more, and there's a whole lot more content coming.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.